The point is that Shaklee really takes the steps and effort to make sure we have the best products of their kind. Now, another example of this involves safflower. And our scientists were looking, safflower is present in a couple of our products, and our scientists knew the phytochemical they were looking for was in the flowering part of the plant. So this orange part, the flower, is where the components were that were active. So our scientists sourced it, identified it, and said this is perfectly pure. There's no contamination present. Then this flower was sent off to an extractor that was making extracts and concentrating the phytochemicals down. That had been doing this for many, many other companies. And when we got the extract in, and you typically wouldn't check this, it was full of lead, because you would assume it was clean material. How did that happen? So our scientists kind of went on a research mission and said, okay, I've got to figure out what happened here. So they went to the extractor and said, we want to watch what you're doing to figure out what's happening here. And the flowers are going down the conveyor, they're being dried, and then these balls are rolling over the tops of them. And our scientists said, what's in these balls? And the balls were made of stainless steel, and they said, what's weighing them down? Well, they were full of lead. The lead was getting into the material. And we were the first and only company that ever brought that up, and they had been using that process for some time. So that's another example of the steps that we take to make sure that our products are the very best. Another example is boswellia, that's also known as frankincense. The active component that you're looking for is the resin that's present in the tree, and you tap it just like a maple tree. That's what you're doing. So we sourced the material and found out it was perfectly clean. When we got the material, it was full of lead. And again, it's one of those completely, how is this possible that this is happening? So our scientists looked at it, they asked what they were using to tap the tree, and they were taking buckets and they were spraying them with talcum powder. And then they were getting the resin. And it turns out that the talcum powder was full of lead, and that's how the lead was getting into the material. These are examples, and there are many, many examples of the things that we do to make sure that our products are the very best products of their kind. Our quality standards are absolutely impeccable. This is one of our heads of quality control who is looking at the specification book that's over 6 inches high for Vital E. We've sold 121 million bottles of Vital E. Every time Vital E is made, in the batches that are made, there are 349 separate quality control tests that take place to make sure that every time you get a Vital E, it's identical and it gives you exactly the efficacious dose that we want to deliver every single time. Now, another example, you hear a lot about the clinical studies that Shaklee has published on our products. There are also studies on ingredients that we never introduce. You don't hear about those, and it's important that you know what they are. One of them is polycosanol. Great double-blind placebo-controlled study was done on polycosanol, which comes from sugarcane from Cuba. It was a great study. It was looking at the lowering of LDL cholesterol, which is the bad cholesterol. So this particular study showed over 8 weeks, LDL cholesterol drop. So you're going, this looks like a really promising ingredient. Our scientists said, let's replicate this study, and instead of ending at 8 weeks, let's run it for 12 weeks. So guess what? Week 1 through 8, the study results matched identically. So everything was perfect. You know, it's the same results on our study that showed up in that study. But they ended at 8 weeks. Well, guess what happened? Week 9, 10, 11, 12. Cholesterol levels, LDL, the bad cholesterol, was just as high at the end of 12 weeks as it was in week 1. The body actually was creating more cholesterol because of this ingredient. So you can go in the health food store and you will find polycosanol being offered for that particular thing. They don't know it, we know it, it doesn't work. So that's the kind of attention to detail to make sure that the products we sell are the very best products of their kind. What's the best way, if you're looking to optimize your health, where do you want to begin? This is the wellness program, and this is what we suggest to people that they start. And it really starts with Shaklee Basics. Shaklee Basics was designed to really provide the foundation to help you optimize your health. And it has antioxidants which are going to prevent free radical damage and damage to the DNA of the cell. Your cells are constantly replicating themselves all of the time. And you want to make sure that they replicate themselves perfectly. Antioxidants help protect the cell, protect the DNA so that that can happen. And you really, really need that to happen because we're being assaulted by free radicals nowadays. Also, we know Shaklee Basics because we've done testing on it helps provide a support for healthy immune function. It helps support the health of the prostate, colon, breast. It supports stronger bones and supports healthy brain function. All these things that people are looking for today. And it's very, very bioavailable. So it's a wonderful program to begin with. Then we suggest people add on to that energizing soy protein. And Shaklee protein we've done 4 human clinical studies on our protein to make sure it's working and providing the benefits that we know are really important. It's a very biologically complete form of protein, and it provides all 9 essential amino acids. Those are in the same ratio as found in the human body, and your body has to have amino acids to function properly. So soy protein is also terrific because it helps retain normal cholesterol levels and promotes healthy heart and prostate health. So this is a great program to start. So another thing that we suggest people add onto their program is Omega Guard, which will protect your heart. And what we have is the world's finest fish oil. We use a triple distillation process that purifies it into a pharmaceutical grade fish oil. And we also provide this full spectrum of all the omega-3 fatty acids that are naturally found in fish. Now, what the dilemma is today is you read this stuff in the press saying you got to eat more fish. At the same time you're seeing in the press, well, guess what? Fish have got a lot of mercury and lead present, so maybe you shouldn't eat fish. It's very confusing because clearly fish has very, very beneficial effect. So you've really got to come up with what is the right solution here because there are powerful protective benefits that these omega-3 fatty acids provide. And Omega Guard provides that in the very purest form in delivering the amounts that you need in the same spectrum, the full spectrum that you would hope to get naturally from fish. So this is a great product. Immunity, you guys all are hearing it's in the news all of the time about what's going on with immunity. Your immune system is one of the most important aspects of protecting your health that you have today. Some of the originating research that was done on interferon, which is a very important player in your immune health, was done by Dr. Kojima. And he was looking at interferon because interferon is like the signal, it sends signals. And I use the analogy of imagine a conductor of an orchestra being able to get the orchestra to play beautifully together and get them all connected and communicating properly. That's kind of what interferon does for the immune system. So it really makes sure that the immune system is operating at its optimal level. So the paths for interferon research went 2 different ways. One of the ways was doing research in the pharmaceutical area, looking at amazing ways that interferon can make an enormous difference. The other path of exploration was the path of exploration that in the way that Dr. Shaklee would have done of let's look to nature. Dr. Kojima spent 40 years of his life's work, looking at the plant kingdom, trying to find plants that when taken would naturally increase your body's ability to create interferon, which is the most natural way that you could possibly have to do that. So what we have in Nutriferon, which we're very, very proud of, is it strengthens your immune system. It was created by the discoverer of interferon by Dr. Kojima. It naturally increases your levels of interferon. There are 4 human clinical studies that have been done on this formula, and it's an exclusive patent formula that only Shaklee has to offer. This is an amazing supplement, and we're very, very proud of it. So when you're looking at ways that you can start with Shaklee and try to create a nutrition program, the Wellness Pack is a great way to do it. The essential foundation for vitality, the protein which supports the health of your body, protecting your heart with Omega Guard, and then looking at strengthening your immune system with Nutriferon. So it's a wonderful, wonderful place to start. Now, all Shaklee products are really designed to promote health in some way. This is true for our personal care products, just like it is for nutrition. What we're doing, what our scientists do, is look at how they can come up with a nutrition solution into the personal care arena. And one of the areas that they were very, very interested was the area of the largest organ in the human body, which happens to be your skin. We're going through a time period, we're going through the greatest period of accelerated aging that has been happening. So we're getting older faster than, say, people did 4 generations ago. We're aging faster. How is that possible? Well, it's possible because there are many more chemicals that are in our environment today, and those chemicals, along with exposure to more UV radiation, is causing us to get older quicker. That's the reality of it. It's a pretty sad state today. So what our scientists were doing to try to come up with a solution to the problem of accelerated aging is they designed the InfuCell line. And what InfuCell is doing is it's helping infuse into the cells of your skin an incredible nutritional blend to help your skin naturally optimize its state of health. There are $1 million in clinical studies that have been done on this line. We have 8 patents, and a number of people have expressed enormous interest in being able to license it, but it's only available through Shaklee. Now, the reason I share this picture with you, which is a really important picture to look at, is the woman on, I have to do this by way, the woman on the left is about 34 years old, and this is a picture of her just taken with a regular camera. The picture in the center is that same time period, but it's taken with UV light. The picture on the far right is the same woman after 12 weeks of using InfuCell. And there's a tremendous improvement in her skin. That's what the InfuCell line is doing, is it's help promoting your natural healthy balance of your skin. And that's what's really important about understanding that we are helping to deliver health benefits in every product that we offer. There is a travesty that is being perpetuated on America today, and that's happening right in our own homes. Right in our backyard. There's a massive experiment that's been going on, and it started in the early 70s with the introduction of different chemicals that have come out in our environment today. The majority of those that have never been tested for toxicity. Now, I'm going to read some of these to you because it's really important. It's just really rattling stuff, but it's important to know this. EPA studies have indicated that elevated concentrations of household chemicals that have persisted in your air for a long period of time, and some of these are suspected of causing or are known to cause cancers in human beings. This is from the EPA. Chlorine is the #1 cause of poisoning for children in the United States, chlorine, which you typically find in many, many homes. Women who work closely with potential toxic chemicals are more likely to absorb these chemicals. There's more fat in a woman's body, and those get stored in your fat tissues. And diseases from these toxins can include breast cancer, birth defects, autoimmune disease, and infertility. And nearly 1 in every 13 school-age children has asthma. And asthma rates are growing exponentially. And for kids under age 5, it's grown by 160%. And strong-smelling cleaners may start a child's asthma attack. So there is a crisis that's happening today. And when you take it into looking at the types of cleaning products that are in people's homes, there is a huge issue. So the research is suggesting that over time, this accumulated exposure to these chemicals can cause harm. So I'm going to give you an illustration of a number of chemicals that are commonly found in household products that are not found in any Shaklee products. Now, ammonia is an irritant to the skin, eyes, and respiratory system. Shaklee uses no ammonia. You'll commonly find that in household products. Formaldehyde, it's often found in liquid detergent cleaners and liquid dishwashing detergents. Shaklee doesn't use any formaldehyde. The fat of 100% of people tested for 1,4-dialchlorobenzene found it present. And it's typically in household deodorizers and room fresheners. And Shaklee doesn't use any dichlorobenzene. Phenol is typically in aftershave, detergents, deodorants, mouthwash, cleaners, hair care, and skincare products. Shaklee doesn't use any phenols. And then chlorine, Shaklee doesn't use that. Our company is designed to promote health. People that join Shaklee are looking at ways to control their destiny, control their health, help other people find health and well-being, and leave the planet a better place at the same time. And we offer our products to help clean the air, clean the water, so that you've got all the tools available through Shaklee product to help perpetuate your health and well-being. We are very, very proud of this company. It has a 50-year heritage in making it just being impeccable in its reputation, the quality of the products that we offer, and we're very, very, very proud of it. And I want to thank you for your time and really appreciate it. So.